be out of town and take it step down. So, but we do still have a quorum. And next will be the reading of the minutes from the last meeting, unless we have a motion to.
So I should have made the motion to
Wait a minute, for a second. All in favor, raise your right hand. 3-0. The minutes, reading of the minutes from the last meeting, and go straight to the treasurer's report. And okay, it's filed for that.
Try to pull this up the way I've got it. I don't know if you guys have been online this afternoon. I went ahead and put the information I have for the treasurer's report on the website, so that if you wanted to look at that, you'll be able to already. Alright, we're just gonna have to go like this. Okay, so I've got a call scheduled with that folio on Monday. Trying to pull up a couple of these documents right here. What it says we have on that folio for the general funds is $192,850, and pull up right here on the bank statement, see what it says. Sorry, bear with me. I thought the website's going to work. Okay. Yeah, so it says we have $192,850.42 on Appfolio. What it says I've got here in the actual bank account is $190,456. So that's about roughly $2,000, $2,400, something that there's a discrepancy with. I know that I spent $1,062 on liens so far, $108 on a court fee, and then I think everything else I've already paid the bills on Appfolio, so those are on there, but I haven't processed them, if that makes sense. So I'm not sure. Before I processed them, I didn't want to, if it's going to, when I click that, double bill me again for it, maybe like a lot of the payment, I wasn't sure. So have that call scheduled and a couple other issues to work out with that, just to make sure I know what I'm doing. I'm not really going to mess everything up, but it's not the end of the month yet anyways. So I put up that just has the basic account info. I put up an income statement for the entire year that shows month for month where we're at. So last month we, make sure that's right. So for July, we were $598 ahead of what it says, but that's just based off of if those bills are all in there right. I've found 5 bills that aren't in there, and they're all paid, but I just don't know if it's taken out of that or not. So I've got that call scheduled for Monday between everything else I was doing, and I've talked to the CPA as well, and she had some good information about the tax exempt status. She said that based on what our income usually is, that income isn't taxable. Most of that, the fees that we generate from the community members isn't taxable. So trying to get our name changed to something isn't really that big of a deal is what she said so far, but I wanted her to give me something in writing on that. And she said the extension's filed for, we have to do our taxes by October 15th, and she was supposed to get back to me sometime this week about when that date's going to be and what she needs from me. Haven't heard anything yet, and I've tried to call her a couple times too, so just kind of going back and forth with that. Let's see what other reports I got for you. Oh yeah, I also put one that's a little bit different. It's a CSV file. You can look at that. It's got some annual numbers for year to date, and then it's also got for the month. They're all pretty much the same, but just in different formats. Kind of might show a couple of different things in one that we didn't see in another. I'm open for any questions or suggestions on any of that. Like if there's anything that you guys want to see or feel like is lacking, I put on there when I put on the website that I'll be updating the website with current income statements as soon as I get that information from Appfolio, as far as how to do a couple procedural things that I haven't got ironed out yet. That's pretty much where I'm at so far. And I plan on posting everything every month, like every kind of income statement that you could do, a yearly one, and then also for the month, and then a bank statement and any kind of info that I can show everything I'm doing, so no questions.
CPA? I know you've been busy, I'm not pushing, I know we talked about having the same issues over and over and over again with this CPA that we got now.
Well, so what I was about to start to look into somebody else, like, or try to check a couple people or something like that, but really my main thing is like, I need to, I can talk about this now or I can talk about it later. The secretary's been MIA for a whole month, and I've been doing all their work and all my work, and all kinds of other work that is normally would be like an office person's job. I'm doing it all, and then trying to get caught up on liens that I've been involved for 3 years, and so it's
Yeah,
like,
like I said, I
no,
know
I'm not tripping. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to explain. There's just like so much, and like I have to prioritize first. What is responsible? Like, what am I responsible for doing? And then anything else that can be delegated or isn't my sole responsibility is going to be second to that, because I'm not going to have anybody say I ain't doing my job, And I'm still trying to learn my job, but then I'm like trying to pick up the
And it should be, and
crumbs for anything else.
the stuff that's lacking, that board member should be held accountable for.
Yeah, but at the same time, it shouldn't be on the community members who want to like have something built, or if we don't post an agenda on time, we can't have the meeting. So there's all these things that like have to be done that aren't. So I mean, right now, luckily we've got somebody recording the meeting, because I don't know how the person responsible for taking the minutes would be able to post that up later otherwise. I did that last time.
The only thing we can do is record it ourselves, or somebody sit here and take minutes, but.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely crucial that we need that. But so I don't know. No, I haven't checked into other CPAs. It's about the time when I was looking at that and we were talking about that, she actually got back to me, and she said that she filed that extension and it was no big deal and stuff. And I was thinking to myself, yeah, it's kind of a big deal. Like we wouldn't like to have that done.
But that's
But
kind of
we-
in her MO is nonchalant, yeah, we'll get you,
Yeah.
you just file this extension.
I was surprised. I mean, I know, like, as a board, we're supposed to be like, I think it's in section 8. It says that we're supposed to hold all all officers and employees and yada yada accountable to their positions and stuff. Officers would be us, And so anything that I've seen, I've always spoke up about, even like if it's going to make me look like whatever. But you see, some of those things, it's like, how did we get to like not paying the taxes and not even knowing about some things? And that's just insane to me. But either way, that's where we are.
That's been years of neglect for the last.
I mean, that's just last year.
4 boards have been trying to.
No, we got them caught up, and then like last year, they didn't pay. I mean, that's like for this year.
Yeah, and filing for this year.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Yeah. Should have been done by April 15th, I guess. But it's not really about pointing the blame on anybody or anything. It's just about like, what are we like?
Yeah, we need
So yeah, I can talk about. I don't know. Is there anything with the income statement that anybody wanted to, or anybody wants to make any suggestions about that? Or do we want to ask anybody out here first right now, or just for us? Okay.
Great, definitely bring it up though in the right.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to talk to anybody if anybody's got any
Transparency as
suggestions
well,
afterwards.
And we can,
Okay.
we can take questions at the end of this meeting.
Yeah,
So
sure.
just want to leave it on the table.
Okay, yeah, we can,
It'll be
Check
before
it, then,
again.
yeah, sure.
Off the bat.
Um, So we accepting that then, I guess, or for now, like temporarily accepting those?
Entertain a motion to accept the treasurer's report as written. I'll second. So we got a second, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Any abstains? 3-0. And accept the treasurer's report as written. I'll get it about the court cases.
Oh. I think I was kind of in a hurry whenever I did this too. Doing other things as well, but we also, I think, I don't see it on here, but we're supposed to have the auction for A308 anytime that we have a meeting. Is there anybody here that'd like to bid on that? If we had to open this up for auction, A308? No?
I think the minimum bid's $3,000.
Yeah, it's whatever you guys have listed it as, yeah.
And then we might even consider lower.
Yeah,
Because
that's higher than any lot that we've ever done. I would suggest, have suggested, if I was there or anything, that whatever it is, we keep it at something that's a reasonable number, because if we do this thing where like that one time not too long ago, we lowered one to $500, we're setting that precedent or showing that that's what you do, nobody's ever gonna buy anything for a decent amount. We should probably just keep them all at $1,000, or unless they got a septic on it, maybe 3,000 or 4,000.
Yeah, bare lot,
Yeah.
$1,000.
Yeah, I'd say that like that, it's just, that's what it is, you know what I mean? There's so much other things involved, and then we get it out, somebody's paying these, you know what I mean? But either way, we can revisit that at the next meeting and move on. I can talk about court cases, whatever else later, I guess, like in the old business. Not much.
Architectural committee, that's on Melissa now. Not your position to speak on, but if you got anything on it you want to say?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
that the committee though is not technically a architectural committee, like the committee that I put in that part, that's just like that one that we created for violations. And really, that was something that I wanted to keep going, but that was in place of that duty was really on the treasurer initially fine, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. And I was doing that to make sure we were starting to get the ball rolling with that. So really, it's like I could take that as the treasurer and I could speak on it later, you know, like from now on, whenever I get the treasurer report, what's going on with that. It's kind of been on, like I've got a list of them, and those are definitely things that need to get served. But I've got court cases, trying to keep up on all those liens, and those two things I have to do, you know, and then the violation thing would be next, you know, start, because I'm gonna have to serve those, and if we have to go to court for any of those, you know, then it's like, I can't have 5 court cases in one month, and like, just go to work, and file them. But that's all I got for architecture. We did, I mean, it's current right now, like if you go on there, there's nothing that's pending, so everybody's still doing what they need to do.
So we'll go on to school and parks. We'll have a couple more weeks left of school being open. Maybe open through September 1st. You have a keypad lock. That's going to be a fall project to get that fence built, the gate, and we got keypad lock on there for next year. No need to rush and get it done this year because we got the kids together. So that's what we're saying. Yeah, I'm going to call them Monday and set a time to close it. Get on the schedule early. That way we don't get leaves by the end of disaster. Of course, they're back to school bags today. And some of it's not voted. But I'll go ahead and, since Casey stepped down, I've told Don that I'll handle security until we get somebody in that position. So I'll skip roads and I'll make a request for the security. Of course, we get the weekly report. You know, everything that we've got. I also do have the bond, updated bond certificates for both Butcher down now. And,
We
the
get-
contracts expire, it's October 25th, I believe, I'm quoting on that exact date, sometime in October. We'll get those together and, get it re-signed sometime.
Oh, the new contracts?
I'll do
Okay.
contract, yes, sometime in September.
Okay.
That's all I've got for those. Roads.
Okay, on roads, I went Monday and bought some donuts, took them to the county, gave them to Mike, kind of a gesture, them helping us out. They've done several roads, cut a few little drainage areas we had, and then spread the gravel out down on the Skyview and Rimrock. I haven't spread that out so people quit stealing it. And they're supposed to help me work on Rimrock, or not Rimrock, but Rockefeller. And I'll still work on that. Other than that, I don't have much there on the roads. Other than that, just trying to get them to help out a little more. I might just make contact with them, stop in there once a month.
So build a relationship with our house.
So, other than that, that's all I've got for that. I've got some stuff, just off stuff in the water.
Have everything under order this, carry over.
Not that we have written down on here.
What is that?
I've got just a little bit of info, just talking to Rick with the water company in the past, and I'll just throw it out there. They were down putting those pumps in, they put the second pump in, comes up out of the lake, goes over and ties into the main line, comes up and fills the tank, and, they said they've got, the second tank is, in the process of between the engineers and DEQs for banging backwards and forth. And, then Rick also mentions that they're going to completely upgrade this plant. What that means, I don't know.
I'm just gonna get
Just
that
pass
rated
it on.
pretty, yeah, better get that rated.
Yeah, probably, maybe already approved it. But, he's out here quite a bit, and DEQ's been out here, I wanna say every day last year. Just because of all the lights and phone calls. And, and they've been working quite a bit around fixing a lot, they've worked in the hills, they've worked down by, the Hess Turner on Phillips, fixed that building, they've been on for months. And things.
Do you have any conversation with DEQ or just?
I talked to him when he was around.
I was wondering if they substantiated any of the, I know there's been some posts about, sick in the hospital, parasites.
Yeah, we haven't talked since that. Now, whenever I talked to them, they were sitting in the road, actually, they were sitting right there by Deacon's house, all lined up there. And, I was talking to him, and he said that we're out there once again, taking care of false claims about dirty water. So these people write up a claim, and we go, we take a sample, and it's perfectly clear, there's no, what they're saying is no bacteria. So I don't know. I'm just passing on what he said.
They've got to understand that people are going to leave that crap in their water lines. They're going to flush it.
Yep.
And they're showing you, we pulled this videoed it coming out of the faucet.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to leave it in there because it's, I mean, that costs the homeowner. Water heaters.
But it has, he did make mention, both of them did. He told Rick, called him, he just called me out before he did, but he said, man, it's all the way to the governor's office now. And I just said, hey, there's nothing I can do. I said, they all have a right to, we have nothing to do with it. I said, all the people that pay for the water bills, they have a right to make a call. I said, pass information along to them. And I don't wanna get into none of this stuff that if something comes up that, well, Jack made a post on Facebook that the water was clear. Well, everything I get comes straight from Rick or one of the people at the water company. I just don't post their post. I don't wanna get hurt from leaving bad on nothing like that, but I think
Should we just start pushing the water company though to
Turn your microphones up.
I think we should start pushing the water company to, come up with their own system and not use us.
Yeah.
Because it gives them an out. Ultimately, it gives them an out. If it goes to court or something.
And
you
it
know,
says,
Jack put that out. Well,
Yeah.
Jack put it out because she told him that's what it was. And the only way anybody's gonna find out about it is if Jack puts it out.
and I think so, mostly on the water samples. If there's a boil order, that should be pushed down through the field.
they should do a text message.
They should do all of it because anything you're doing is making it look like you're endorsing whatever they're saying is true. right?
Yeah, but no, it's, no, by no means that. It's just, he just
Yeah.
said, would you please push this out?
Right.
Because somebody might talk to Bubby, maybe neighbor, oh, we don't have faith to hay, but the water's out just because of this. It's just a word of mouth thing.
Sure.
And, that's basically
Yeah,
all
but
it's
if
gonna
it's,
do.
I mean, if it, you know, if it's a serious issue where there's a boil order,
Yes.
and the person that doesn't have Facebook actually does get sick and get parasites,
Yeah.
it's not, I mean, it's not necessarily on you, it's on them.
Yeah.
Well, and if you're posting some things and not the other things, like I heard, I don't know if it's true or not, but that they haven't been, DEQ hasn't been able to find permits for any septic tanks to be installed out here in this neighborhood. And that's supposed to happen for every single one. They were looking for that and not able to find it. That's just what I was told. But say if you heard that, and maybe what if that's true, and then we didn't say anything about this, but we say everything that the water company said, the people that would hear about the permit thing would be like, oh, well, we never heard about that from the board, so it's cool, you know?
Yeah.
It's not true, it's a conspiracy, or whatever.
I had one call yesterday, wanting to know his water wouldn't even come out of his hydrant. And I said, well, I make sure it's turned on. But he said it down the other day, or last month, he said it's just clogged and mud in my hydrant. And I said, make sure it's turned on. If it is, you ain't getting the water. And I said, call and get it done. But anyway, that's all. I just, like I said, just pass along what they shared with me and nothing else. Anything else on the news?
What do we want to do about these, like, what, I know nobody showed up that we wanted to interview for the appointees. I don't know if you guys have called anybody on that. I called 2 people, or sent text messages to, and I don't see either of them here. I got a call from one of them early this afternoon saying that they were really, I think this is, if this was a job interview, this wouldn't be the right setting for a job interview. You know what I mean? Like, because some people aren't going to want to, it's like you're on stage and you're having to pitch yourself
Well,
already. If it was just us 3, that'd be a big thing,
Yeah,
probably
we-
some people, but there's,
We'll go
9,
off,
12
we'll
people
go off
here.
an executive session afterwards and talk this.
okay, well,
And
yeah, I
just
thought the discussion, I mean, I would have liked to have had this resolved a couple of weeks ago. It's just more duties. And so we've got Casey's position to fill now, but I'm starting to wonder, do we need to be figuring something out? Because like, I've been doing a bunch of stuff for a month now, and nobody's like, it's really insane. I mean, it's more than what it says it's okay for me to do on the bylaws. I'm doing architectural, secretary, and treasurer, and then also duties that would be the person that works at the office, or something like that. Like I'm answering things on the website, I'm, just all kinds of legal stuff too, and then, and running back and forth, and then trying to learn how to do what I'm supposed to do. It's too much, and I'm not gonna say this or that about what was or wasn't done over the past month, like as far as pointing anything out, but it's like, I think there should be a bare minimum expectation. I think we need to communicate that. I suggested it last month, and I'm not expecting anything from anybody. I brought an action plan for myself that I can communicate to what I want to do for the next year, so that you guys can see that. And then at some point, and I can post it up there. And then if anybody's like, oh, somebody said that they wanted to help out, we can point them in that direction. Or if you guys have one up there, we can point them in that direction. They can pick from the list of things that need to be done, which I can go over that action plan in just a second. But I would think, one thing that we need, definitely need, I don't know how to put, I looked at it and I think I kind of figured it out this morning, but how to put a new user in. So if we get a new board member, we need somebody to already know how to put that user in as a person who can do architectural committee, you know? I don't know for sure, I was messing with it this morning, and in settings, I think I know what to do, but I can't tell you for sure. But that's just a basic thing. On my end, or on any of our ends, like anybody who has to use that, it shows a paper trail of everything you do, but we need to be able to, like you should be able to be like, I wonder if Mike's doing his job. And then you click in there, click on my name, and see everything that I've done over the last week. And I should be able to do the same thing with either you guys or whoever else is on the board, especially architectural committee, because you got people sending requests. If they're not checking that thing every day or every other day at least, you got somebody that's been waiting for 2 weeks and they've got a trailer already scheduled to move in or something's crazy. Or if they got to build, I'd be trying to build, and it'd be like raining for 2 weeks and I'm off. And then like they answer back and it's like, cool, I'm busy now, you know, I'm trying to get caught up and I can't do anything. But
I don't know
so
how you would do that without like creating a spreadsheet.
no, you don't have to like AppFolio has it all already set up. You click on the user. I clicked on, like I could see your stuff today and this stuff, and I could see my stuff. I was checking everything out, kind of digging around in that area. If you go into settings, and then there's a whole list of stuff. And if you go down, there's like create a new user, and like you can look at the users that we already have, you know, which is like us. We need a couple of them removed that are still, some are still getting on there right now. I switched it to view only, and there's certain things like so there's things that need to be done that way. I don't think that there's anybody in there actively changing stuff, because I don't think that those permissions are there, but they are there to view, which I wouldn't be upset about making it where everybody in the harbor can view all the reports and they can run the reports themselves, and then I don't have to, anybody can do whatever they want, check out any of the reports. You can add everybody as a user like that that's paid their dues. And so that's something I want to look at too. It's not something I can do right away, but definitely just like the basic stuff, because if we need 2 people right now, or at least 1. I think, I mean, I don't know, like, what do you think the basic expectation should be for next month for each position? Or what, like, I think we should decide that right now, so that, because we're already a month into the new board, and, I don't know. I'm doing 40 extra hours a week, and if I wanted to do that, I'd do that at work and get paid for it. I wouldn't break it into big bucks or trying to do
What
it.
else did you volunteer to be on the board?
Yeah,
Everybody's
to be on the
busy.
board, but not to work 3 different positions.
Yeah, oh, no,
That's what I'm
agreed.
saying. Like, if I was just doing the treasurer, yeah, I got a little training to do this month. I'm doing the treasurer and the secretary and architecture, and then a bunch of catching up from the last year where we weren't filing liens and doing things that if we were holding people accountable before and doing these things before, I wouldn't have so much to do right now.
I just, if, and now, has Melissa done anything since?
Not whatsoever. Nothing whatsoever, and not reached out, other than saying the other day that and I wanted to bring this to topic too, that we should, the only order of business I've heard is we need to stop the recordings, and we need to close the board meetings to the community members and just give them vague minutes. What do you guys think about that? It's in the text messages, and how could that even be acceptable?
Yeah, it's not, because it's, I mean, that's the whole thing. We got in the position we're fighting our way out of over the last several boards because of that. Doing it that way. They were having board meetings, they were vague on the minutes, everything was hidden.
Yeah,
That's
well, I mean,
not
just.
the way we need to operate.
Yeah, exactly. I agree, but just based on that, based on all of the other things the last month, like, this is not enough, or do we need to I don't or we can spend another month messing with it and Yeah, a member can, the board can remove a member for no reason.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know that.
Uh,
I'm just
I'm,
wondering.
and I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I'm also not trying to do what I've done last month, you know, again, this month. I'm like worked to death right now.
I think it would fall kind of under the same thing as like how we set the meetings up. So, you know, like put them out there set for the year.
What's that?
Having an expectation of it. Some of the union stuff we used to do, if you were a union official, you had to attend so many meetings in this many a period. You know, say a 3-month period, you had to attend 2 meetings. If you only make one, you're out.
Sure. Well, how much work do
That
you
would
think
just be a
that
rule to the board.
as a board, even without a communicated expectation, how much work do you think that you should do a month? And have we met that expectation last month? Because it's just, I mean,
that's gonna be lopsided no matter what.
zero hours, zero action,
Right.
other than red flags. That's the only action we've taken this
Yeah,
month.
that's gonna be lopsided no matter what.
Well,
because-
I motion that we remove that board member. That's my stance on it, and I don't care. I'm sure that's probably not gonna go over well with some people, but I don't know. If those people want to come and take half my workload or more, great, you know, but, no, but like, I don't, like, I just, you know, I didn't even do that much my first month on the board, but I know I was in there doing a few things. I learned how to do my thing and I got it going, you know, I did some stuff. I did some stuff, whatever. I did a lot of stuff, but, I'm not gonna toot my own horn, but I didn't do nothing whatsoever, and I don't know, I don't see how that can be acceptable. That's where
I
I'm
think
at.
and see what you think about this, you know, address it, and see where it goes from there. And if there's not everybody should already know, but call them to the carpet on it, puts them in a different mindset. You know, hey, and I'm just asking, I'm not saying that's what, you know, what we need to do, that's a discussion we need to have, but call them to the carpet on it, and if, you know, if
Well, I'm just gonna,
things aren't gonna change, then we've got to make change.
I'm gonna politely decline to be the one doing that, because that's just another duty for me. You know what I mean? Like, this is just insane, and I'm not trying to, this isn't drama, this is like some of these other things. Some of these issues have been brought up in the past, or this one maybe not, but some of the other things that I was made out to be making drama about were brought up 6 and 7 months before, and then when it all boiled up, it's like I'm the jerk for calling it out. You know, it's like I'm just calling out some stuff that's like really a thorn in my side right now.
When you're gonna make a post, I would go to the last post, I was like, I got hammered by everybody. See if there's anybody who wants to be on the board, or whatever, executive committee, like you said.
Yeah, I've talked to several people that aren't interested. I've tried to find somebody, but
I've got, well, I know
it's just like my circle, I haven't reached out to the masses, so.
one of the persons that I had mentioned said that they didn't really want to get up in front of groups and talk, that they were willing to do whatever needed to be done to help out. And so it's like, it sounds to me like it's more of an anxiety around being around the meetings, but they're totally down to do whatever someone's plate needs to get done. So that's nice to know anyways. I've had other people helping me out with some stuff too, which is great. But as far as like that's just kind of getting us up to speed with what was going on last month. That's not like since then we've got another thing that's piling more crap on top of that pile of crap that I'm having to mess with.
Once I had the surgery, where I could do one on, I'd probably do the architecture stuff. If I could do something,
You'd have to get another person on the committee too.
I was like,
Or I could still be on the committee to just vote yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you could be the one that was like looking at the stuff.
that's what I was trying to figure
submit
out.
it. Yeah, I can, and that might be, you might already have the clearance to do that.
Well, that one day I went there and
Yeah, he did do
You said,
something.
what'd you do?
Yeah, I think, but I don't know if that one approved right, like it was like, cause
My one bill approved it for some reason.
yeah, you can change it to approve,
Yeah.
but it wasn't, like, if it wasn't voted on, it's not right. But,
Yeah.
so,
I need to learn that.
I don't,
I think our bylaws, if you look at the bylaws, the fixed positions, and that's really an extra position.
This Casey was,
Yeah.
we elected, or,
it's just nice to have the five, so there's not a stalemate on there or anything. And also, we need people that want to take on some more workload, because I've got all kinds of stuff. I've got things that are part of my responsibility that I'd love to delegate some of. And then, like that, there was the voting roster, from, that I was working on all last year, or like the beginning of this year, started working on stuff. Well, I got Kathy's been helping me with that and doing a bunch of extra stuff in that was like above and beyond, which is also helping us find people that weren't in that folio that should have been. So we're going to be able to maybe get the right people paying some dues on some of those. And she's almost done with that. But even then, that has to be taken, and we're going to have to add addresses to any of those that don't have, because some of them just have lot numbers. But if you look at what it says for the secretary on having that voting roster, it says it's supposed to be an accurate voting roster with their addresses and yada yada on there and all this stuff. Well, printing up the thing the way we were doing it in the past wasn't accurate. It didn't have everything on there it's supposed to. And so that's another thing that's been going on too, that I was doing that for a while, and I just started putting it on the back burner after I became treasurer. But I was doing that beforehand even too. And at one point I was talking to Kathy, and I was like, you start at the bottom of the list and I'll stay at the top, and we're just working towards each other. But she's laughing at me now, but I'm not sure if something came up. I don't know. I think if we're going to move forward without taking some kind of action on, or taking the kind of action, appropriate action, I think, about that issue with the other board member, there needs to be some kind of documentation, like that we need to establish before this meeting's over, that's given to them and they sign that says that if this is your duties for this month, if this is not met, then bye-bye, or if this is met, then great, But we need some clear expectations that we can all agree. I know, but we can't audit it if we don't know what the expectation is. That's why I like the action plan thing.
And that's what I'm saying, because it's printed in there what the duties are. But,
Right. Well, the architecture thing,
some of it kind of
Appfolio and all that, there's things that need to be done in there that you need to articulate. You can't just be like, make yourselves goal.
Right.
And then it's like, that's not measurable,
So we need to
it's
make it-
measurable, but there's no actions in there to see if they're doing it,
Yeah,
So
we need to make
like
it where
specific actions.
this is,
Check Appfolio at least 4 times a week, 4 different days a week. You can check Appfolio for architectural, there's a minimum of that. There needs to be a-
emails, spam,
yeah, but what I'm
Yeah,
saying,
but I'm
send a
talking,
message.
I have to get on there and check it and
Yes.
see what's been submitted, and then once I approve it and send it to you guys, then you get that email.
Right.
I get something first before you guys get that.
I get an email 2 or 3 days, it has it, and I can go in and look at it, but, and like once I can go in there and approve all of it. but-
Oh, okay, you might be able to
And
just take
I
that
like I said, I
over.
don't know all the work it's done.
Yeah, what you have to do is submit it for approval, and then that sends it to the other 2 committee members and you, and 2 out of 3 of those have to approve it in their Appfolio, and then you can go back into yours and approve it with conditions, and then set it out like what we've been doing, where you don't just approve it, but you say, hey, it's approved, but you have to stay within all the regulations or bylaws, so that way we can cover ourselves.
And I'll get with you, like I said, probably by next week.
so what do we want to put on that expectation list for that position? Because I want to make 100% certain that you know what your responsibility is.
Yeah, exactly.
This is what is expected. Can you handle it? Can you not? And this is what needs to be done, and then if it's not done, then you take action.
Okay, so, I would say 1, watch applicable training videos on Appfolio. website or on YouTube for architectural reviews. And then schedule an appointment and meet with Mike Riley sometime within the next 2 weeks. So that way they know like what that has to be done. Like you can't be like, oh, well, I had to take my bird to the vet. But so that I can train them on how to do that. That's that. And then checks that folio a minimum of 4 days out of the week.
For architectural control.
Yeah, for architectural requests. And resolves those within 36 hours. Is it anything, I can train you on how to do that. You should be able to say a yes or no within that time frame. And all the guesses, we always just do it where we kind of cover ourselves on that, you know. What other stuff? Oh, submits agendas on time. So 15 days prior to the third Saturday of every month, agendas are submitted to Mike so he can update the website. At some point, I can mess with getting them a user login for the website too, but right now, I'm not going to make one of those every week for a new person, or if we don't even need a person. Right, let's see how this plays out. What else?
Training videos, schedule appointments for some personal training with you.
Within the first 2 weeks. It's got to be within the first 2 weeks, because that's 2 weeks is excessive. It needs to be done like today, you know, but whatever.
Check out folio for architectural control requests and resolve within 36 hours. Make sure agendas are available 15 days prior to meetings.
Yeah, and minutes are,
And sent to you for posting to the web.
as well as minutes, and attends 80% or more of the meetings, all meetings. So, I'm going to deliver that to them, you know, so that way. Yeah, so maintain, throughout the year, maintain voting roster that will be submitted to her within the next couple months. I don't know, or within the next month, because we should have it 30% or more. I think it'll be done by then.
So is that all the, like, the kind of extras that aren't necessarily spelled out in the duties of the bylaws?
Yeah, these are just paid.
Yeah, they're so vague, but
What?
so I want to get all that stuff down and then add, and.
Anything else listed in the bylaws?
Listed in the bylaws.
Anything else listed in the bylaws? Those are just like minimum expectations. That's not like above or under anything. But I don't know. I think that
So you've done the position, so you're more intimate with it than I would be.
it's not that hard once you know what you're doing.
Right.
Like all it is basically like when I sit down to eat, I just get on there, click on the thing, see if there's any new things. If there are, I click on them, see if it's got everything it's supposed to need. If it doesn't, I send them a message. I might try to reach out and call them if I can, just so I don't have to get a call the next day in the middle of work or something. You know, like, hey, I'm trying to get this done. I'll go ahead and reach out to them and try to help them get whatever they need submitted. And then I send it to vote with the group, and I group text them, and I say, hey, I just sent one for vote. And then they know to try to look at that evening, you know, and then we get the thing sent back. It doesn't take that long to get that done.
Well, like I said, that was one of my big things was architecture control was taking way too long. And you know, literally turned that on its head, so, you know, as far as getting getting approvals.
Yeah, no, it's, we're
I
doing,
mean, I went through the same thing. I had a building coming in, put up architectural control form in, my building was delivered before I was even approved. Well,
Yeah.
how can I stop the delivery process?
yeah, and I've had people say that they had so much trouble with it, they just gave up and just did whatever.
Yeah, did whatever.
They
I
did.
mean, that's how we get
Um,
that position.
There are some things about the voting roster, I know that some y'all would probably, wanting them to include in there, but I think, as the treasurer, I'm gonna be looking at that stuff myself. Anything that I know, like if the deed passes through our hands, I'm going to personally reach out to Melissa and say, hey, this person needs to be updated in that folio with the correct stuff for your voting roster. So that way, that's not
Have her go
on
through-
her to try to get on OK Land Records and hopefully see something.
I have her go through the motion, because that's training as well. So she'll know how to do it.
Oh, yeah, no, and there's some of the things I'm still kind of working out myself, but, so, like, there's some things that I had done as secretary that were treasurer's things, where I did them a couple times because I was told to or whatever, and I do them, but it's like, so few and far between, I don't remember exactly how I did it, but, so I'm trying to figure all that out.
All right, so I'll get that typed up. I'll get a post out for, anybody interested in the board position.
Oh.
Volunteers for the.
That's documentation for the board member, that's not for,
Yeah.
or the post, right? Are we still talking about the documentation here?
He's
Or-
talking two different things.
Yeah, two different, yeah, the documentation, I'll get that written up.
Okay,
That's a.
okay,
a task.
I didn't know if you were saying that, I'm making sure you weren't.
I'll also make a post for the board position. And,
Okay.
Make sure Jack gets in where, through architecture control. I'll start with this. Because I know how to do that in your house. I can make sure he has access to it.
Okay, sweet.
So I'll take those three. I'll get right up to that. Anything else that we do this?
Let's see here, yeah, I've got some stuff. Okay. Oh, yeah, I meant to say something about the ordinance, and we talked about it right before the meeting, or say it in the meeting, so that it's like on record too, about using debit cards, that we don't want to use debit cards now if it's anything over $100. If it's anything over $100, we need to write a check for it, especially if it's for something like a large purchase, you know, for sure, but or like a roads thing or whatever, anything like that. And I'm going to be doing the same like we did the other day with the liens that we filed, just so that you've got two people signing off, because what it said in the bylaws is they wanted two people signing off. So I'm trying to stick with what that says until if somebody wants to amend that in a meeting or something.
Let's go ahead and make a vote on that. That way, you know, it's.
Oh, that's as a treasurer, I'm saying that has to be done.
So the motion is to,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and we'll have receipts, there's no way we're signing two checks without.
so the motion is to, no purchases over $100 on your credit card. Anything over $100, you must put your check, your signature,
Right.
and, obviously, with a
Yeah,
credit card purchase, you have to have a receipt, so,
yeah.
so from here on out, no more, nothing more than $100 on a credit card, so.
Yeah,
All in favor?
that's,
All opposed, so that's a rule we'll follow this time.
yeah. No, I just, looking at things, I'm just trying to iron things out, do everything like the first.
Well, that's, I mean, like I say, you get out there and start swiping the card for something that
Yeah, well, I couldn't find,
is out of control, that there's no, checks and balances to.
I couldn't find certain, like, receipts that were on, they look like computer receipts, but then also it said like debit, you know, or something, it's like, and I think we had accounts, you know, or something is what you were saying, it was for some stuff, but, and that's fine, but we just need to show up and pay those in the check, you know, and then have receipts, bill letters, anything like that. Other thing, I'll address it again, I don't know if you ever got to it yet, we talked about it before, and then I started thinking about it. I think there was more than just the one bylaw that needed to be filed, but there's definitely, you'll be able to get that filed.
The meeting went down, I forgot
Okay.
to bring it when I went down there
So,
last week.
there, huh?
I forgot to bring it with me.
Oh,
when I
okay,
went down there for
so
the-
there's that, well, there's that one, but then like, but I'm pretty sure at that same meeting, we voted to, do away with proxy votes. And, so that's two bylaws that needed to be filed. And so, I'm not sure exactly how that, you probably have to look at that bylaw.
Come back to the minutes.
Well, you have to go back to the minutes, but then also look at that bylaw and then write it to like 86, that bylaw, basically. So, but both of those still need to be filed. The attorney thought that was a huge deal, like, big deal, basically. Oh, and then I've got this, I'm just gonna bring it up, just so you guys know about it too. When I was handed all the treasurer stuff, one of the things I was handed was a deed from January of this last year that I brought back from the county because there was some incorrect legal on it. And then also right around that time is when we discovered the thing in the bylaws where it says the treasurer can't be signing off on deeds anyways, you know. But I gave that to Brandon back in January, and for that to get fixed, whatever, and he gave it back to me, and it still hasn't been filed. And that's like not a life matter. Like if that person died right now, and like that they lose that in the state, we get sued, you know, as a neighborhood, all kinds of craziness. But I don't know if that's the only one or. No, it has to be rewritten because he's the one who signed it. It doesn't have the right accurate stuff. I've got to write one, send it down to the guy that's supposed to already have it, and say, hey, can you take this to the bank and get it notarized? Send it back to us, then we got to do the same thing, and then us go file it.
So that's the same thing I went through with the realtor on.
Oh, I don't know what that. I remember I was getting calls about it all the time. I was like, it's not my thing.
Yeah.
Not that. Yeah.
I jumped through hoops with that one.
Oh, that was like, yeah. She was calling me because she couldn't get anybody to meet with them for like 4 or 5 months, something like that. It was crazy. I got all the emails
And
on
I
it.
was asking stuff.
It was, yeah. No, I know. I kept.
Well, I think actually.
I tried to help.
I had to because I had to be president or vice president.
Yeah.
So, I don't know any details on the one you're talking about now, but
I have it. It's for a guy. It's in Springtown.
I'm sure it's gonna be the same thing. Either Jack or I
Texas.
have to be involved in it.
Yeah. Like I'll have to draw it up, or somebody's gonna. I'll probably just draw it up and then get you to sign and notarize it once. But before that, they got to send it back to us. We're gonna have to send them like a stamped envelope in a deed, and they're gonna have to take it to the bank and get it notarized, sign it, send it back to us, then we'll sign it, and then we'll go and file it. It's like,
Well, and I'll even, because that one with that realtor went round and round. I took money out of my own pocket and just paid that, so I took it down to the UPS store and said, get it to the farm.
yeah.
I mean, if we gotta do that with that one too, that's fine, because
We'll just have to do
we
it.
can't be dragging stuff out like that, you know.
Yeah, it's crazy. Okay, oh yeah. Action plan for the next 12 months, treasurer, I got that too, do that now. So, plan is to maximize income by cutting the number of back dues left unpaid and cleaning up the neighborhood using our authority to issue fines and cleaning up properties as needed. Why? More income will produce more opportunity, and cleaning up the neighborhood will bring in more land purchases, leading to more income as well. How we're going to do that is communicating plan, enabling anyone who wants to help, have a clear expectation of what needs to be done. Complete the filling out of liens that are to be filed annually. Regularly check out folio and website for members needing access to assistance paying dues. Mailing letters to delinquent properties, small claims court, this lists cases for people with delinquent dues, serving notices, fines, and authorizing cleanups for properties in violation of bylaws and inquiring with the community about other avenues to impact that. The measure, I'm going to be posting that on the bulletin board. Filing liens, 50 or more a month. So that's just a minimum expectation. So that would be at least once every couple of weeks. I'm bringing 25. They said I can only bring 25 at a time when I brought 59 last time. But
They were
letters.
gracious with that, then. They
I want to work, after we get the liens filed, I want another measure, we're going to have up-to-date inbox. So if you were to look on the inbox for the website, you're going to see that there's no people that have been left hanging for the last week, or like when I took over, there was 100 messages in your box, you know, that were like, hey, I'm trying to pay my dues. It's like, well, we should try to follow that. But anyways, next thing, letters sent. So after lien's completed, I'm going to work on sending out letters to probably the higher dollar ones first. I want to look into what, if there's a way to do that. When I fully judgments in court, that'll be another measure. You'll also be able to see notices, fines, and cleaning of properties that have been in violation for excessive periods, for an excessive. So that, I'm going to post that on the bulletin board out there, and then I'll probably just put my name and number down at the bottom if somebody wants to get with me, questions, concerns, or wants to help out, you know, whatever. But then they'll also, that kind of gives another notice to feel like, hey, we're going to be doing this, so don't be like acting like you're getting singled out. I'm not going to be able to do everybody at once, but I'm going to start randomly picking some really bad ones first, or whatever is getting sent to me by that committee, and going after those, and then kind of going from there.
Somebody's gotta be first, somebody's gotta be last.
Well, yeah, and
It just is what it is.
well, it's like right now, we've got liens filed from 2022, so everything that's already got a lien filed on it, fine, they've already got liens. I'm gonna start I started at the bottom of the list, and I'm gonna work my way up, and we'll get them all. So there's gonna be people that are probably like, why am I getting a lien? I know, what about this guy? We're gonna get to, it's just like a court case. I can't do them all next week.
Do you feel that you need to post that and stuff? I'm just, because
Okay,
there's
yeah.
gonna be people who come up there, well, you ain't doing this according to this, you know that's gonna happen.
And that's fine. The reason why I want to do this is because if we were to all do this, then everybody can see, okay, this is what I said I'm going to do, and you guys can hold me accountable to it, but the community can hold me accountable to it, and then also everybody knows what's going on. Whether you have somebody that says, oh, hey, I want to volunteer some time. What do you need help with? You're all done with your stuff. You can say, oh, there's some stuff on the bulletin board up there. Go look at the treasurer's thing or the security guy's thing or whatever. And then they've got a list of things that they could get in touch with that person about and help out. And it'd be nice. I would be stoked to see that from anybody that was on the board if I wasn't on the board. Just so that, like, it's like, well, what are they doing? You know, even if they didn't like make it to a meeting or want to watch the videos, they could say, okay, this is his 12-month plan. And these are, they can look at 6 months down the road, and they could go, I'm going to go see if he's filed any of those liens or taken anybody to court. And they'd be able to say, yeah, he's doing his job, or no, he's just blowing gas, you know, whatever. So that's what I got from mine.
One other thing that was kicked around on text message or something was the yard, the park area. We have some conversation about, well, we can't continue to rely on volunteers to cut grass for us.
Oh yeah,
We don't have equipment to cut grass.
it says that we can do that. It says cause all things to be executed. Like I can't remember verbatim, but it's like basically says that like whatever bills we can pay, that kind of a deal.
They said we used to have a 0-ton mower that disappeared, so I don't know.
Well, yeah, I'm nowhere near getting ready to audit anything, but it'd be interesting to look at somewhere.
That's what, I mean, you can look at the desk of the officer, the key to, I can't remember what it was, like a case, something, dozer or
Oh yeah.
where that go?
Yeah, like that trailer out here.
It's the same thing, you know, like I said before when I was on roads, we're tasked with maintaining the roads, but we have no equipment to do so, so we gotta rent it, or volunteer somebody, and so ultimately it becomes the board member's responsibility to get it done if no volunteers show up. So,
Makes it nice, you're sitting around saying, hey, I got some free time tomorrow, I'll be your friend, you know.
you know, we had, Bush was doing it for a while, he's done it a few times. One kid that was had the lawnmower service did it one year.
That's something we could make a post. I'm not the one that does the Facebook thing. I can't remember who we said did that. But if somebody wants to make a post, it's just like whenever that committee that I have gets to the point where we've issued violations and fines and they're still not cleaning it up, we'll be posting, anybody want to make a bid to clean this up, you know, and then we'll be paying them to do that too, and then putting it on their portfolio. So it's the same thing with that. We could do the same thing. I could put one on the website, whatever you, if you want to post something or whoever does on Facebook about we're taking bids for mowing the lawn, I'll copy and paste it and put it on the website too.
It's just, I mean, it's not fair for people that come out of their pocket every single time to cut the grass.
Oh, yeah, no, it's, or
They get
yeah, or
tired
to
of it, move on, and-
ask people to volunteer for one thing and then pay people to do another. I mean, it's not fair. Yeah, exactly. Yep, I agree. I think that's all I have. I mean, yeah, I said my piece.
Entertained a motion to adjourn. Second, all in favor? Opposed? Questions?
Yeah, if anybody's got questions, concerns, or whatever, I'll take notes.
Where do we pay or do that?
At Folio, do you have, what's your phone number?
918-457,
257?
457,
Uh-huh.
4687.
Text you my name. I will,
No, sir. Try this number, 457,
uh-huh.
6827. That will take a text.
Oh, okay. Hold on just a second. 918-457-6827.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm texting my name. What's your name?
Jamie Ross,
Okay, Jamie or Janie?
Jamie,
Okay. I will send you a link to get your stuff paid. Have you ever paid them on there before? Okay, you have an email?
yeah.
Okay, I just sent you a text. If you can send me your email and what lot you own, I will make sure that that's all tended to for you, get it fixed up.
Question.
Jamie, what?
She has an account.
Okay. Yep.
Anything been done on the going on water department distribution
Riley,
or continuing?
Yeah, I was waiting to see if we had any other questions, because I didn't know if some of the stuff was gonna be answered with the CPA or not, and I think we're cool there. I am planning on doing that this month, scheduling a meeting for, like we had talked about last meeting, about what it would look like if we were to keep it and what it would look like if we didn't keep it. Yeah, so yeah, it's definitely like not something on the back burner. I haven't done anything with it.
They got like secret slacking, so.
Yeah. No, I definitely, I thought about it.
Spare time.
I think about it when I show up to the courthouse because it's right there across the street. But
Maybe by the next meeting.
yeah, by the next meeting for sure we'll have. By then hopefully I'll have met with them. But I'll definitely get something scheduled for next meeting. So
Did you say, if I understood you correctly, did you say you was actually going to post bank statements so that we can actually see what's in the account, or no?
I want to post. Yeah, like. Yeah, I'm fine with posting the bank statement, like and like whiting out like the account number, you know, or anything obviously. But
No, not that.
yeah. But I'm totally down with posting everything. Like I'm like on that income statement section. I already
Even
put.
just chop that part off,
I've,
just give us what your actual.
yeah, those two numbers are.
Like on the actual.
Yeah. Okay.
Like if you have your bank statement that.
Yeah,
at the
where it shows
top off,
everything,
that has all the
withdrawals.
pertinent
Yeah.
information, it just shows,
Yeah.
this is what we paid.
Yeah, I
this
wanna
is
put that on
the
there.
person we paid it to,
Mhm.
you know, that sort
Yeah.
of type thing.
I want to.
The other question I was gonna have was, do you know when the last time that Folio bank statements were reconciled?
I did look at it. I didn't see anything that was there were besides the month of April. The month of April, nothing happened.
I
I'm
mean,
not
actually ran in at Folio and reconciliation. Have you
Yeah, there
found
was
where that's
something
at?
ran. Now, as far as whether it matches or how that works, I haven't done one yet, so I can't say, oh yeah, this is proper. Like I was saying before, some of the, like I've looked at some of that stuff, but I wasn't gonna try to audit something where it's like, I don't even know how to look at it yet. I mean, I'm looking at it, but as far as like, I can't say,
100% comprehending
yeah, I mean,
what it's telling you.
Sound like you could use some help.
yeah, big time. Yeah, I've got a scheduled call on Monday with them, and I've dug around and I've watched some videos and stuff. Some of the stuff it's just like you watch a video and it shows you 90% of what you needed to know, and maybe one other thing. Like it's like that question about like I can enter a bill in here. You can just scan the bill, put it in there, and it'll fill out all the stuff. Well, if I hit submit on that, is it going to debit the account again, or is it just going to add it to the roster?
If you approve it to pay.
Okay, yeah. Well, and then on the ones that are approved to pay, how do you get rid of those? Or, like other than that, so some of these things I was going to ask. I wasn't going to try to call you guys and ask every 5 minutes on something, or something like that. But I did want to have a call with the Appfolio, and they're getting paid for it. Mess with them for a little bit, see what they say, and then if I'm still having trouble, I definitely reach out and see if there's any.
If you submit something like that, does it give you are you sure you want to do this as far as like paying?
Well, it's not that. It's like if it's saying, are you sure you want to do it? You don't know what it is. You're like,
Well,
pay it
that's what I
or
mean, the thing,
post
yeah.
it. Pay it or post it.
The submit, and then,
Yeah.
is it gonna pop up and say, are you sure you want to pay this bill?
I mean, I could show you one here, and you'd be like, okay, yeah, I don't know what that.
Right, because you're just gonna push that button because you don't know what it's gonna do.
Well, I just didn't know if it was going to debit. It sounds like it wasn't based on what she's saying. But,
And that's what I was asking, is it given the option to, once you submit it, is it just upload the information, or is it gonna ask you, do you wanna pay this?
yeah, and I think we've got the answer on that right there. But so yeah, I'm definitely not 100% on it yet. But I'm also not going to act like I am and then not do something either. I'm going to make sure that we take appropriate actions.
So when y'all get receipts, I don't mean like just your little ticket printout for the credit card ticket, but you'll have an actual receipt
Store
from the
receipt.
store that says
Yeah.
what it was that was
Yeah,
purchased
that
to go
needs to
along
be on
with
there.
it.
Yeah.
Or a bill of lading.
I think I've seen those on most recent. Yeah, I don't know, but like on the receipts for like Walmart or stuff, we're getting those. Yeah.
That says what it really was.
Yes.
Yeah, the only ones I was never sure about was like, ordering stuff online,
Oh yeah.
the keypad lock.
Print it
We
out.
ordered some, I think we ordered some Amazon stuff. How do you get a receipt on that?
Screen grab it, print it out. Yeah.
What's the
Amazon
stuff?
sent it to you.
Anything
That's
like
why
that.
I always let
that,
them bring
well,
it.
that would be acceptable. I haven't gone back and audited anything to see, oh yeah, this is on the right. That's not really what I was trying to get into do. I wasn't even
Right.
trying to do this, but I don't want to do anything and not do it right. I'm not gonna put my name on something. Or have somebody maybe.
Well, not that like we did before, like we want to see this is what we want to purchase this to. Order, order.
Yeah, something like that, but like I'm on cleaning supplies, toilet tissue, running Walmart, grab a receipt.
Yeah.
So last time I did everything again, they bring in this thing.
Oh, I saw that one. Simple green. Okay, so the attorney, bank statements, anything else anybody wants to see or have questions about? Or?
It sounds like Becky knows a lot about the Appfolio.
Yeah, no, we had talked about it.
You get it
before.
from Appfolio thing, like your conference
You have to,
call.
I had to schedule a call, and I did that last week.
Can you just, if she can volunteer, can she help you?
Yeah, and I spoke about, we spoke about that before. It's
Okay.
definitely something I wanted to do. I don't,
Is that something that would work for you guys?
yeah, it works for me.
Jack?
I don't mind anybody helping, but
Good.
having access to the system is a little.
Well, actually,
No, just help with this.
the records part portion, I'm gonna set it up later where anybody can view any of that or run those reports themselves, because we're all supposed to be able to have access to that. So I'm just gonna do that, and make it where, yeah, they can look, view only, and not, like there's the accounting portion where you're like entering in numbers, that's one thing. But then there's the reports part where you could run the accounting reports, you know, to see what I'm spending money on doing with that. The reports thing, I think everybody should be able to have that access, and they could go in there and be like, I'm gonna run a report, and see what we did in 2025, or whatever, you know, anything, whatever they wanna do, or what did we do in June? 'Cause it sounded pretty crazy in June, you know, or whatever, just whatever they wanted to do, they'd be able to run the report. And I wanna have more than just the income statement on that monthly, and I'm gonna try to put the bank statement, whatever else that came on there, so there's no question of anything about what's going on. At least, if, and then maybe if I mess something up, somebody's gonna be like, hey, this ain't right, you know, or something. Or I know that's happened with the architecture thing, like, I try to submit something and somebody be like, hey, this is this and this, and it's like, okay, glad we have 3 people doing this, you know, so it'd be nice to have that, as much of that.
Just be your
posted.
second trainer.
Can I ask just a quick question again?
Sure.
I'm sure you all know the answer to this. You guys know that the directors of the association are available to be any number anytime they request, right? So none of the records can be hidden from us.
That's why,
Yeah.
that's why I wanna set that up where anybody can run those
Yeah, I think it
reports.
should be open.
Yeah, yeah, and it's doable. It's just gonna be tedious going to each person and setting their user thing, so it'll be tedious to do it, but it's a job that needs to get set up at some point, that needs to be done. And that, if that was happening, then anybody could run the reports themselves. I'd still have to submit something each month.
Run into is the wording in the bylaws, I believe says upon request.
Sure, on request.
It was on the press.
But you're all supposed to have office hours too, so we have to make.
Yeah, this,
That ended a long time ago.
the request will be right at their fingertips. I can't see, well, we can fester on it, and if we can come up with any ideas, well, that's a bad idea before we start doing it, then if we come up, that wasp been in here. But, if we can come up with any bad ideas of why that would be a bad idea, then, it's gonna be a little bit before I can start going through that or find somebody willing to help with that. But I do see that as being something that I would like to
Really, the only.
get it set up.
Only thing I can see would be a bad thing is people not understanding it and turning PLA meetings into 4, 5, 6 hours trying to explain it to them.
Yeah, but we've got the timer. And we already issued that, or dealt with that issue. Yeah, if anything, I'm gonna be getting a bunch of calls like, hey, why aren't you doing this and doing this and stuff?
Careful what you wish for.
But, but hopefully, I think people be a lot more comfortable with everything is more
Yeah, I mean, transparent to me is, as much transparency we can provide.
Yeah.
If that's getting us out of the bull crap that we've been,
Yeah.
6, 8, 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's long before my time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And that's all we can do is change it from here forward. We can't change the past. And what they did, they did. And, you know, we talked about it on the first board that I got elected to. Like, you know, we've got an answer to it now, but it wasn't us that did it.
Oh, yeah, I'm just trying to make sure that I'm not having to do that. All right, well, thank you guys.
We should probably rent